Right, I mean, so we're really standing right outside of Dr. Erekat's residence in the city of Jericho in the West Bank. We're here surrounded by some loved ones, relatives. His family, his immediate family, has just arrived here in the last few minutes from Ramallah, where Dr. Erekat's body was taken to from the Jerusalem-based Hadassah Hospital. So now, really, we're seeing the beginning of the mourning period. Of course, the funeral is being held tomorrow, but we're seeing more and more loved ones arriving here. Of course, many of them are there behind me, and standing here with me right now, Ayman, is a relative of Dr. Erekat, his cousin. Thank you so much for joining us. I really would like to first just start by understanding what your relationship was with Dr. Erekat, and what your connection was with him, and how you're doing today.
Well, thank you for turning out on this evening. As you said, some of the relatives have arrived. A lot of them are finding it very, very difficult to come here tonight. I know I'm one of them. He's a close cousin of mine, and also we had a very strong connection as well. And bringing myself to come here, it took me hours after I heard the news. It's not real. I don't believe that he's actually gone. I believe that I'm going to wake up any minute and find that this is all a bad dream. Yes, he was sick. We heard he fell ill from the coronavirus. But this is Dr. Saeb Erekat. He fought and he survived many years of politics. And he survived a lung transplant. And we heard he got the coronavirus. And we said he's going to come out of the coronavirus. We did not think that the coronavirus would get him, but he did put up a good fight.
I want to get a sense from you, of course, taken too soon, 65, obviously he had his health issues, but this is certainly a very sad day for Palestinians and for Israelis. You see Israeli leaders also praising him as a statesman, and definitely was one of the biggest champions of the Palestinian leadership in the past several decades. Any lasting legacy, any lasting remarks that you remember from your interactions with Dr. Erekat that you're going to take forward for you, for your children, and for the rest of your life, something that really stuck with you from your cousin?
As you mentioned, it's not just Palestinians who are mourning the loss of the chief Palestinian negotiator, Dr. Saeb Erekat. It is the loss of the world, the loss of the Israelis, and the loss of the cause of peace. Before I came down, I spoke to a rabbi who is in Poland, and he expressed his deepest sympathies to me about Dr. Erekat. Granted, we didn't see eye to eye on politics, but he said that if I ever saw that there was going to be peace, it was going to be done by Dr. Saeb Erekat. I saw Saeb, the last time I saw him was about a week before he fell ill. And he was at a family function. And that was who Dr. Saeb Erekat, that the media and some people don't know. They know him as the politician. They know him as a scholar. He was also a journalist, like yourself, Daniel. But they didn't know the family side of him. There wasn't one occasion that Dr. Erekat missed. Birthdays, weddings, funerals, you'd find him sitting in the first seat. And now here we are sitting at his funeral, and it's still hard to absorb that this is actually happening.
Abdullah, thank you so much. Obviously, our thoughts and our prayers go with you and your family as you're coping with this very sad tragedy. And of course, I mean, as we're hearing there, as Abdullah was saying, you have to understand that this is also a man who was beloved by so many people on both sides of the aisle, and that's something that's even palpable today. And it also just goes to show the amount of people that are coming here, given the very difficult times. Obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic has restricted the access of a lot of people to come here, and definitely a very, very chilling moment and a chilling day here in this very complicated region. And Dr. Saeb Erekat was, of course, an integral part of any prospects for peace. That's something that has been said by those even who rivaled him. And thankfully now we also get to get a glimpse into that other side of him, which is equally as important, of course.
Yes, Daniel Tzemach, thank you very much for bringing us those voices from Jericho. Thank you, Daniel. Now to the U.S. And even with promising signs in the search for a vaccine, the COVID crisis could define the early days of the Joe Biden administration. According to data from Johns Hopkins University, there have been more than